Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Creative Corner. Today we are going to be working on a shaving cream tote bag, but before we go ahead and get started on that, let's go over some of the supplies we'll be using today. So I worked out one of our designs ahead of time, and I don't know if you can tell, but I also printed it out. It's a DJ cat, and I have it on a drawstring bag. But if you would like, we do have supply kits available, and in your supply kit, you're going to receive this canvas tote bag, as well as this sandwich bag that has one shaving cream can and 5 tiny bottles of fabric paint. Today we are going to be working on what I found hilarious, a panda with guns, because pandas can't take care of themselves. And then you'll also need some tape. I'm using Scotch tape, but you're more than welcome to use any type of tape you have around your home. Also, I have a plastic plate, but you can use a paper plate. An old gift card or a business card, as long as it's thick and sturdy. And then just in case, I have some bottles of fabric paint here too as well. Okay, so you do need a black and white image for your stencil. You can choose to hand cut out your stencil, draw it out, then cut it. Use a Cricut and to cut your stencil. But it's best to do this on freezer paper. Freezer paper is the halfway point between parchment paper as well as wax paper. So wax paper has wax coating on both sides of the paper. Parchment paper has no coating whatsoever, but freezer paper has a wax coating on one side, and unfortunately it is hard to find in Gallup. I did find freezer paper, but it has a plastic coating, and when I tried to do the DJ cat last night, last night, it failed. So we're just going to go ahead and stick with a piece of paper. And what we're going to do is just tape down the sides just to make sure that it stays in place. And you want to make sure that your stencil is as flat as possible. And if you want, you're more than welcome to iron out your tote bag beforehand. Okay. And once you have your stencil taped down, you can choose if you want to use tiny pieces of tape to tape down the inside of the stencil. And all you need to do for that is just to take a piece of tape, fold it over onto itself until it makes a nice loop, and then you're going to put that on the inside. And then all you need to do is just make sure that the tape isn't visible, because we don't want that. But I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to show you that it is an option. The next step you'll need to do is to get your plastic plate or your paper plate, as well as your shaving cream. Now, I'm just using regular shaving cream. It's non-scented, just plain old shaving cream. And then make sure you give it a good shake. And then you're going to try to put a thin layer of shaving cream onto your plate. Using your old card. I'm using an old Starbucks card for this. But you just need to spread the shaving cream around on the plate just to make sure that it's nice and even. Try to get rid of any bumps, any holes in your space. And then once you got it nice and relatively even, you're going to go ahead and get your fabric paint. And you're just going to add the paint here and there. You may need to shake your bottles to get the paint toward the bottom at the top. Of course, you don't want the plastic pieces to fall off. And the great the great thing about shaving cream is you can get it on yourself and you don't have to worry about it. And I'm just making random drops of paint here and there. It is kind of difficult to use the smaller bottles, so that's why I have the bigger bottles too as well. But you're just going to add paints wherever you would like to in the shaving cream. You don't have to use the exact colors that are provided in the supply kits. You're more than welcome to go out and buy some locally from your craft store. But I am using True Red, Yellow, Royal Blue, Leaf Green, and Purple. Okay, once you have your fabric paint on the shaving cream, you're going to go ahead and use your card. Mix it around just a tad bit. And I should have started with the lighter side and made my way down. So that way it creates a nice gradient from the top to bottom. But once you've done that, you're going to get your card, scoop from the bottom, and come upwards. And then all you need to do is just smear the shaving cream onto your stencil area. Then you're going to keep doing this until your entire stencil is covered. Then be careful not to go over the edges, which I've just done. And then make sure to get the fabric paint in your stencil area. But once you're done with that, you can scrape away any of the leftover shaving cream and then just place it back on your plate. If you use a lot of shaving cream, if you don't use all of your shaving cream, then you can go ahead and go back and make another one if you want to. I think because we are using paper, the best way to also do this would be to spray down the paper and then just stick it down with water. But then all you need to do is just lift up the stencil . And you can see somewhat my panda is still there. I have too much shaving cream on the bag itself. And then once you're done, you just need to wait for the paint to dry, which takes roughly about 72 hours. And then you can go ahead and wash it. But there we have it. We have our stencil. We're done with it. We just need for it to dry. Again, it's best if you use freezer paper, which has a wax coating on one side. And then all you need to do is cut out the stencil on the freezer paper, get an iron on low heat, and then just go over the stencil to make sure that the wax sticks to your tote bag. We didn't have that today because it is kind of hard to find in Gallup. But once your paint is done drying, it is washable in 72 hours. And any leftover shaving cream that you have on your stencil, you can wipe away, put it in the trash, or reuse it for another stencil too as well. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Creative Corner. Today we did a shaving cream tote bag. That was a little bit messy, but it's okay. Shaving cream's not going to hurt. The only thing is fabric paint's going to stay in your hand for a while, but it's okay. You can wash that off with soap and water. But if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to all of our social media accounts. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and much more. If you would like to sign up for our monthly newsletter, just go to our website for that. And if you would like a supply kit, just give us a phone call or again, go to our website, submit your supply kit request, and we'll go ahead and get that to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.